I was sitting here thinking. I was sitting here thinking uh, about this dude. OG told me a long time ago. He said it was a storm coming then, but he was talking about today. Now, what's going on today? How things is. It was a farmer though. It was a farmer. And I was chilling with my grandpa and them. Like I said, they were my best friends. I was hanging with them. And I really just listened to him talk to my grandpa. And they were telling me about these times where it came where they had to grow their own size and they only went to the grocery store to get meat. Well, they was talking about these window of time, these times that come around in seasons. And they were talking about one of their experience. They were talking about the Civil War or World War II went on. They were talking about, you know, a hardship that came behind it, nobody talk about. And they was talking about, the dude was like, well, it's something, it's finna come up again. They were talking about these moments in time. I wish I was older when I was listening to it. I wrote it down. And they were talking about, what? My grandpa name was Tattoo. They were like, well, that's set finna come back up again. My grandpa was like, yeah, I won't be here though. And he said, you will though, grandson. And you know, and I was like, you know, I was a kid then. I was like, I ain't worried about it. I had to deal with it. But anyway, they were like, it's like a vacuum. And they were like, I was listening, I was reading the Job story. Like, well, I read them books now. I ain't reading them. I ain't even learning them. There's something else going on when I read it now. It's a lot deeper than reading it and even decoding it. So I'm looking at this Job story, and I was like, I seen God do that when I was in heaven. All his kids will be around, and Satan will be there too. And it's just like in the Job story, Satan be like kind of creepy, like the black sheep or something, like, you know. And he always up to something. He always up to something. And in my case, all God kids got together, and there was something going on Earth. And that's when they were talking about sending me back here. And I said, Satan did it. I pointed at Satan, like, Satan did it. It's like, that's a natural instinct to blame Satan. Satan like, I ain't do it. And that shocked everybody. And that's why God was like, that's why you going back. We're going back to see what's going on. Satan said he didn't do it. Now, everybody looked discouraged then. What do you mean Satan didn't do it? You didn't do it. Satan didn't do it. Who did it? I ain't gonna tell that part though, y'all. That's a secret in the astro. That's really where the spiritual war coming from. But anyway, back to reality, back to my grandpa, them story. They were like, what they were saying? They were like, oh yeah, they were like, went to the Job story to counteract what my grandpa was saying. I was looking at the story, listening to the story, like, why would God tell Job to do that? But that guy said in the truck, he was like, the world, there'd be so much evil that God, it's like, it's a filter. And it's like, when the world goes for so long, so many years, scientists know what I'm talking about. I heard scientists talk like this, but they said in a scientific way, it don't sound like how I'm finna explain it. It don't sound like how I'm finna explain it. And they said in a scientific way. I told them I pull up at this time, you know what time it is. Time to go to war. Pull up at this time, I don't know you. I mean, not like that. If it's somebody new, it's different. But around here, it's probably time to get down. But anyway, So it's like a balance. It's like yin and yang. It's like the world go for so long, and it's just the human thing to do bad and good. Well, what we don't understand is, what humans don't understand is that when we do good or bad, that's beautiful right there. Wow, that's beautiful. When we do good or bad, man, that's beautiful. When we go good or bad, the bad filters out. So it's like, it's like, it's like these right here. It's like, you got these right here, and it's like it do this all the time, you know. And so after so long of this, it don't matter how much bad and how much good it is, the bad still gotta go somewhere. It's like a trash filter. And I guess y'all, after learning this, we can probably learn something to help us with the earth. When it comes down to recycling and trash dumping or something, whatever. But anyway, it's like the bad filters out itself. So it's like, after so many years of this, the earth have to regurgitate or filter itself, cleanse itself, detox itself. So in my situation, since I seen it, it's like I'm living in the Job store. And it's like I see this, let's say this is a woman. Let's say this is Satan or the devil. And it's sitting at the end of this yin or yang thing. It's a light filter on the light side, and it's a dark filter on the dark side. Well, Satan is up the dark side. But the thing is that Satan is a human being. And Satan is gathering everything that's toxic. Now, how Satan get these things, it's a woman. Okay. This woman gonna get it through sexual contact. And it's getting it's getting more than just sex. It's literally taking your soul, really. It's getting all your information, all your download, all your bad, and it's really draining you. It's taking you out, so it's like filtering you out. So when we go back to the Job story, it's like, Job, what was really going on in them times? I bet you during them times, I bet you it was filtering time. And that dude said something powerful to my grandpa. That dude told my grandpa, he said, my grandpa said, it's only gonna be bad for the people who are living in them times. And that's why he looked at me and said, grandson, I hate it, but you gonna probably be here during them times. And it said the people after that will be fine and the people before that will be fine. And that's exactly how it is. It's like during them times. It's like during them times. It's like during them times. It's rough. It's chaotic. It's catastrophic. And it's something got to be done. Even if we did it and we trying to do something about it, right? But it's like legions is all over the world right now. Legions is loose. And but it ain't just legions. It's just like bad. The energy is. It's like the energy is filtering out. You get what I'm saying? Like this. It's like the energy doing like this right here, y'all. And anybody who follow that darkness, that's why it's detrimental for you not to sin. It's like detrimental for people not to sin during them times. Because it's like you're being filtered out and you're going to whatever dark is going to a dark place. And that's why Satan is at the end of it, catching all the dirt. That's deep, ain't it? My grandpa was like, and they were like, while that's going on, they explained it, bro. I don't know how they explained it. That's probably why they wasn't big on reading the Bible and stuff back then, because they knew the Bible in their heart. But, and they knew stuff was missing too. You could tell when it comes to older people in their hundreds, about 100 years old today and stuff. They just knew stuff. But I'm just looking at it, I'm like, I bet you in Job time, it was time for it to be filtered out again. And so when Job took on all that destruction, Job was the pillar for that moment in time and situation. I bet you they probably didn't even take it out the Bible. They probably just didn't put it in the Bible because it's really irrelevant to explain something like that because it's a God. It's a God thing to worry about, not humans. It ain't nothing for humans to worry about. It's like everything has a filter. Cars have filters. Mopeds have filters. Dirt bikes have filters. Planes have filters. Everything in the world got filters. So of course the earth got filters, right? So it's spiritual filters we can't see, and what it is, like you're going back and forth. You're going back and forth like this, and so the earth right now is tilted in a bad way. That's why it's probably tilted. That was a sign, alarm clock on that thing telling God, okay, God, the earth just tilted. Oh, okay. Well, it's time to filter it out. And you're going back and forth, and everybody who keep wanting to do wrong, you just get filtered out, and it goes all the way down to Satan. Sometimes in the worstest way that we can even imagine, but it ain't bothering Satan. Trust me, I know. I had a conversation with her one time, a long time ago, about it. It don't bother her. She programmed different. It don't bother her at all. You know what I'm saying? It's hard. I better not explain that part, but it don't bother her at all. And it's like she got the devil to help us, like a sidekick, or him, or whatever. And that's what they do. They catch evil. They catch darkness. All the darkness of the world, all the evil, animal, anything, it all get filtered down to that. I could pretty much guarantee it's probably an animal and an insect and everything of a very dark type of nature. And that's the way it filters itself out. But then what they do, like, and I read it somewhere later. I read it somewhere later, and it said, I read it in an ancient book, and it said, the people in these times, it's horrible. Life is horrible. And I bet you that's the reason why it said that in the part in the Bible. When it said, woe to those who have kids during them times, for sorrow will be their lifetime. And during that life, yeah, it's pretty rough. Yeah, it is. And when I had my child, that was the one time God did visit me and said, I wish you never had a child. Yeah, we weren't supposed to have no child, not unless it was with another angel. And that, you know. But that's what it was. It was like the hardship that was gonna come around. It was like Job, that tore Job up, and God probably felt it. That's what it was. It was really a filter, and I bet you the Bible, I don't know this for a fact, but it makes sense. God was like, why would God do that? But that's I bet you that's what it is. It's a filter and it's a time. I bet you when scientists hear this, they're gonna put something on YouTube and say, yeah, he's right. It's something that goes around, and it's so much evil. When it hit this clock, it's like it's something that it's a trumpet that goes off to God and say, okay, the world full, the filters in the earth. There's two filters. It's a yin and a yang. The filters are full on earth, God. Okay, it's time to filter the world out. And anybody who was doing sin in that time is just done. It's just like, you gotta stand up straight during them time. I bet you that's what it is, y'all. I don't know why I want to share this with the world. It's just knowledge. It ain't really going on. It ain't neither here nor there. But it's just amazing. I heard when I read the book, I just started reading Job. Again, I'm only on chapter and a half. And I was like, everything went bad. And it was like, that probably just tore Job up. But the thing is, Job didn't realize he was a Moses vessel. And I think a Moses vessel is definitely a pillar vessel, a float vessel. And just like me, angels on my back, angels was on Job. He was talking to God throughout the whole thing too. And them angels told Job the same thing. You just gonna have to deal with it because the way you built, you're a tool. You just gonna have to deal with it. But I used to cry to God and them about my situations a lot. And I would always hear the angels tell me, deal with it because you're just a tool. Deal with it, you're just a tool. And it's like, God, I was begging God to explain that to me. And it was like God didn't even want to waste his time. It ain't even like God was mean about it. It was just like I just didn't understand it. And I'm getting it now though. It's like Moses' body, that's why they auction that body. That's why everybody want that body in the Astro. That body is something about that body. And that person really probably, you can have a life on earth, but whenever that bell go off, it's a good chance your life gonna turn into an absolute disaster because you're a filtering tool. You're a tool used for the filters. In other words, it's like a wrench for a socket. You know what I'm saying? It's a wrench for a socket. And that's why I said when people attack, that's why I said, like, I'm a filter. Like, I help the filters out. Like, the people who hide behind God but really lukewarm get stuck on my float. Slide down there to that back, to the dark filter. You know, you really a hypocrite. But don't nobody know you a hypocrite because you got the image of a person that's a saint, but you're not a saint. You're a hypocrite. And you do dirty stuff in the dark. So we're gonna go ahead and do you like this. And I hate because I'm in this situation. Somebody got me in the movie thinks it's a joke, but this has been my life my whole life. But I've been in life and death moments my whole life just about, and I never could die. I thought I was a robot. Y'all probably done heard me say that in here. I thought I was a machine for a long time. Cause it's like I had a near-death experience and I just get up. I know I should have died. Like that time me and my ex-wife wrecked the car and we were going 150 on the speedway and we hit that rail and ran slap into a tree going 100 miles per hour, cut the tree down. They had to cut us out the car. And I got out the car unscathed. They were like, go to the hospital, man. I didn't even go to the hospital. I went on to Atlanta and got drunk. I ain't get drunk, but I went online, I had a cookout. I went online, I went to the grocery store, had a cookout, and drunk me a little bit. Me and my wife got into a little fuss that day because of the car. I just bought that car. That's the car when I wrecked. But we was trying to figure out why something else happened that was suspicious. I ain't gonna talk about on here. That's all in the past. And me and my cousin then was trying to figure out what really went down.